Hello my dear students, welcome back to the another virtual class of history. So today I am going to teach you about the partition of Bengal. So as I have already taught this chapter and a video is there in our school channel. But still I felt like to explain you in a different way. So let's start our today's class. What were the causes of partition of Bengal? Okay, that only we are going to focus on. As you know that the moderates, they tried their very best to get their demands fulfilled, but for 20 years they could not achieve any of their demands. But still they tried to raise their voice from time to time, sending petitions to the British government. So from 1885 to 1905, that was the era of the moderates. Then in 1905 there was a rise of extremist nationalists. So that was the time, my dear, that the nationalistic spirit has become very high in Bengal, and that has become a great headache for the British government. So British government, my dear, though they had helped regarding the formation of Indian National Congress, as you know that A.O. Hume was the founder of Indian National Congress. But as the demands of the Indians went on increasing day by day and day by day, and the fever of nationalism was growing very rapidly, and the popularity of the Indian National Congress was gaining more and more ground. And that time they thought that this increased temperament of the Indian nationalists definitely is going to harm them, and it will become difficult for them to rule in India for a longer period. That is why the responsibility to break or to crush the nationalistic spirit of the people, mostly of Bengal. Why Bengal? Let me tell you. Bengal was the most important ground of a nationalistic spirit, because there people were highly educated and they were very much conscious, and the nationalistic spirit was becoming more and more stronger in the province of Bengal. So altogether, as I have told you earlier also, altogether 11 provinces were there during that time, and one province was Bengal province. Okay, and that province was so large, my dears. I'll discuss the areas in terms of area, also in terms of population also. Okay, that we'll discuss. So the administration was very difficult for them to do what you call efficiently manage it. That is something different, my dear. But the main motive in order to crush the nationalistic spirit of the people of Bengal, my dear, the responsibility was given to Lord Curzon. Lord Curzon, the Viceroy of India. Okay, so Lord Curzon was the Viceroy of India from 1899 to 1905, and this was the era when Lord Curzon came up with a lot of reactionary policies, right? Whichever acts he passed, like universities act was there, municipality act was there, and even we can say CDTS meeting act was passed by him. Okay, and the most reactionary policy he implemented in India was the partition of Bengal. Partition of Bengal. So why there was a partition of Bengal, and what were the real motives, the official motives, all these things we are going to discuss. Now, as you know that we are discussing on the administrative efficiency. Even the British government, they wanted to show to the people that we are going to partition Bengal due to administrative difficulties being faced by the British government. Okay, so on the ground of administrative efficiency, they wanted to divide or partition Bengal into two parts. So now let us discuss about the entire area of the Bengal, which all areas were included in Bengal. Okay, and then it will be easy for you to understand. So you can see the map. I have given it over here, right? So this is the map which seems after the partition was implemented in the year 1905. Okay. Purple part is Bengal. You can see this is purple part. Bengal, Eastern Bengal, what do you call it, the proper Bengal, and the partition part is this part, the orange part, that is the Eastern Bengal. Okay, so we'll discuss it one by one clearly. So the entire province of Bengal, okay, the area, let us say that 1,90,000 square miles, 1,90,000 square miles. Okay, and the population was all about 78.5 millions. 78.5 million was there, and the Bengal province was comprised at that time. I'm not talking about West Bengal, I'm talking about the Bengal at that time during the British rule. So Bengal province comprised of Bengal, okay, proper Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, okay, now known as Odisha, okay, Chota Nagpur, and Bengali speaking districts of modern Assam. Today modern Assam, that time also it was known as Assam. So all these areas were known as Bengal province, proper Bengal, no West Bengal, no East Bengal, proper Bengal. So it was large territory. So according to the British government, what they try to make the people, how they convince the people that the Bengal territory has become too large a territory to be administered efficiently by one single governor. So just for administrative, to make the administration efficient, they wanted to partition Bengal into two parts. That was the official motive. Okay, that was the official motive. But the way they partitioned Bengal later on, my dear, that made the people understand that it was not only due to administrative reason, my dear. It was just to strike the root of nationalism from Bengal. They wanted to crush the nationalistic spirit of the people of Bengal. Okay, so in 1903, my dear, Lord Curzon formally approved the plan of the partition of Bengal. Plan was ready in 1903. Plan was ready. It was not implemented in 1903. It was ready. It was completely ready. Okay. So at that time when this was heard by the Congress, my dear, Congress denounced this partition, my dear, and they completely okay, was against the partition. Even they held sessions in 2003, 1903 and 1904. In that annual session, Congress completely denounced the partition of Bengal. They were not ready to accept the partition of Bengal. Okay, but anyhow, their motive was to crush the nationalistic spirit. They wanted to, that means morally damage their what you call it, moral aspirations of the people. That is why the plan was put into effect in the year 1905. In 1905, the plan was properly put into force. Okay, so what was the new province like? So you can refer this map properly. Now you can refer this map. You can see here the orange part, the Eastern Bengal, okay, and the purple part was the Bengal. Let us say West Bengal. Okay, so according to this partition, my new province, this part, the orange part, you can see there. Okay, yeah, Eastern Bengal including Assam. Eastern Bengal including Assam. Okay, it was comprised of like Eastern Bengal and Assam. Okay, was constituted by combining, okay, territories like Chittagong with 15 districts of old Bengal. 15 districts of old Bengal also was included in this new created province, that was Eastern Bengal. East Bengal, let us say East Bengal. Okay, and the area of this part, area of this newly formed part was, my dear, 1,06,540 square miles. Okay, and the population which was included, was shifted, let us say, was partitioned in that province, was altogether 31 million people. 31 million peoples. Okay, so out of this 31 people who were in the eastern part, my dear, just you must understand, my dear, that 18 million population were Muslims only. 18 million population were Muslim and 12 million were Hindus. Just imagine, 18 millions were thrown out in that territory, that was Eastern Bengal. That means it was very much clear that they wanted to break the unity of Hindus and the Muslims. They wanted to break the unity of Hindus and the Muslims. So 18 million population was here, only 12 million population was Hindus over here. Okay, and rest were here. That is obviously understood. Okay, so this is how the partition was planned, my dear. So now, when this partition was enforced, my dear, that was in the year 1905, my dear, it was very much clear to the people of Bengal. Now, this is the story only about Bengal, my dear. Rest of the parts of the country are not involved in that only. Okay, but most of the important leaders were very much included in this anti-partition movement, like Surendranath Banerjee, that we'll discuss again. Okay, so official motive we understood, my dear. The official motive was the administration was very difficult. Okay, they wanted to partition just for administrative efficiency, that we understand. If it was for that purpose, then definitely it was very good. But the way they partition, my dear, it became very very clear for the people that they had been tricked, they had been humiliated, they had been cheated by the British government. In the name of administrative efficiency, they had tried to strike the root of Bengali nationalism. Okay, so now it is very very clear what was the real motive of the Bengal partition of Bengal. Number one, to strike the root of Bengali nationalism. The Bengali nationalism was very very high in Bengal. Okay, they wanted to crush the nationalistic spirit of the people of Bengal. Okay, and the second one, my dear, that to create or wedge between the Hindus and the Muslims. They wanted to create a gap between the Hindus and the Muslims. They wanted to separate Hindus and the Muslims. Okay, and the third important thing, my dear, as we can say that they even wanted to demonstrate the strength of the British Raj. They wanted to demonstrate the strength of British Raj. Okay, my dear, so once again you can see the map, my dear. It will make you clear, my dear, that it is in such a way that they had done a partition, my dear. The orange part, Eastern Bengal, okay, so which included East Bengal and Assam, and 15 districts of old Bengal also was included. And in this bluish part, my dear, in the bluish part you can see Bengal proper. Okay, so the capital of the old Bengal was Calcutta, and the newly formed Eastern Bengal's capital would be Dhaka. Okay, newly will be Dhaka. Okay, so in 1903 the plan was prepared, and in 1905 the plan was formally implemented. So now let us discuss about the plan. So on 7th of August 1905, on 7th of August 1905, my dear, a massive protest was held at the town hall in Calcutta. Massive protest was held in the town hall of Calcutta, where the important leaders, eminent leaders of Bengal like Surendranath Banerjee, okay, then K.K. Mitra was there, Bipin Chandra Pal was there, Aurobindo Ghosh was there, and even Anand Mohan Bose was also there. Okay, Anand Mohan Bose also was there. They were the most important leaders of that time. Okay, they were congressmen. Okay, so they took out the banners, like in that protest. What did they do? So banners displaying slogans like unity is strength. What was written on the banner? Unity is strength. Okay, then few more banners were there, which in that it was written Bande Mataram. Okay, then in few banners it was written no partition. These were the banners, placards were that means holded by the people, and where processions were taken out all throughout the city. Okay, so that was on 7th of August 1905. But the real partition, the day of partition, that is 16th of October 1905. 16th of October 1905, my dear, a day of partition. That day was observed by the people of Bengal as a day of mourning, the saddest day in the life of the people of Bengal. Okay, they never expected, they never dreamt about the partition. They never thought that they will be separated by their people. Okay, so the entire city was filled with a cry of Bande Mataram. Early morning, people came out of the houses, barefooted. They went to holy river Ganga. Okay, there they dipped into river Ganga, and they took the promise of unity. They even tied Rakhi to each other's hand. Okay, that means a thread of brotherhood was tied among the people, a bond of unity. Okay, so throughout the city there was a cry of Bande Mataram. Okay, and even the songs like Amar Sonar Bangla and all this were the sounds which filled the city. This cries of slogans filled the city. Okay, but still there was no one to listen to the emotions of the people of Bengal. Okay, on the same day on the same day, that is evening, Anand Mohan Bose, my dear, led the foundation of Federation Hall. Okay, Federation Hall was inaugurated by Anand Mohan Bose. All the people gathered over there. Okay, and there they took the vow of Swadeshi and boycott. There they took the vow that from today onward we will definitely start with the Swadeshi and boycott. So that was started by the people of Bengal in 1905. 5. One of the saddest day in the history of Bengal, my dear people, are very very sad. 16th of October 1905. Okay, so they had already planned to go with Swadeshi and boycott, my dear. Swadeshi and boycott was not a new thing. It already was tried in different parts of the world also, and they wanted to try with this in India also, because nothing can harm the British government. They cannot fight with guns and bombs with the British government. So the only weapon they had was Swadeshi and boycott. So Bal Gangadhar Tilak, definitely wanted to go with Swadeshi. Bipin Chandra Pal was there. So when this partition of Bengal was going on, my dear, moderates also were very very active, but they were not ready to go against the British government. Okay, they were not ready to go against the British government, but the young leaders like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, they were very much adamant that no, this is the only method that can bring justice to the people of Bengal. So they wanted to start with Swadeshi and boycott. So later on, Dadabhai Naoroji also agreed. Okay, Dadabhai Naoroji also agreed to this method, and it was decided in the annual session of the Congress also, and that from that day onward, the Swadeshi and boycott movement started. Now, children, let me make you understand what it means by Swadeshi. It is very very simple. Swadeshi means goods made in our country. All the goods which are made in our country, we will use it. Rest, we are going to discard it. We are not going to use that. And boycott means to boycott all those British goods, all the English goods, English liquor, English schools, colleges, everything we are going to boycott. Okay, so Swadeshi and boycott are the two sides of the same coin. They are complementary and supplementary to each other. Okay, so boycott is incomplete without Swadeshi, and Swadeshi is incomplete without boycott. So both has to go parallel to each other. Okay, so it was not only Swadeshi, the boycott of British goods, my dear. So the boycott of English schools were there, colleges, law courts, everything was to be boycotted. That only can bring some pressure on the British government, my dear. So that way, Swadeshi and boycott movement started. Most of the people of Bengal, they brought out the goods made in their at their houses, and they burned it outside also. And this Swadeshi and boycott movement later on was used by Gandhiji also in the non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, which we have already discussed before also. Okay, so this is all about the story of partition of Bengal. Okay, hope you all have understood this part. I've tried to explain you in a different way. Okay, so hope you all have understood it. Okay, so now I think you understood the official motive and the real motive. Official motive, administrative efficiency, and the real motive to break the unity of the people of Bengal. Because in 1885, they were the one to help to found the Indian National Congress, and when this Indian National Congress was becoming more and more popular, and it became a headache for them, so now they wanted to crush this organization. For that, only way they found was to divide the Hindus and the Muslims. So they wanted to hit the people of Bengal emotionally. They wanted to paralyze the people of Bengal with emotional emotions and all, because once you are separated from your friends, you will be hurt very badly, you know. So people living there for many years, if they are separated, that will definitely hurt them badly. So that was the way they wanted to implement the partition of Bengal. So now here is one picture you can see here. This picture definitely will show you that it was a people participating in the Swadeshi movement. This is the picture. It shows that people were very much involved in the Swadeshi movement, wearing hand spun cloths. Okay, and slogans of Swaraj you can see everywhere. So this is the mammoth of the people which can be seen in the picture in the background. Okay, so apart from this, many more pictures are there. You can see one by one. All these pictures are the clips of partition of Bengal. Okay, so hope you all have understood it. So all this were the one, and even you can see here one more picture is there. That is large number of women joining the Swadeshi movement. Okay, called for boycott even. Okay, so hope you all have understood the main motive of doing this class once again was to make you understand why the Bengal was partition, and there shouldn't be a confusion between partition of Bengal and the partition of India. Because the though connection is there, partition of Bengal, the root of the partition of India was shown during the time of partition of Bengal. Because one more fact, let me tell you, my dear, during the partition of Bengal, Muslims, most of the Muslims, they did not take part in the anti-partition movement, because they were very much convinced by the British government to have a separate territory dominated by the Muslims. Nawab Salimullah of Dhaka was very much convinced by the government that don't be a part of the anti-partition. So that way, so it is not that all the Muslims, but most of the loyal Muslims were there who were in the anti-partition movement. Okay, children. So with this note, my dear, I hope you all have understood it. So we'll meet again in next class. I hope the new type of class I have tried to do it. Hope you had liked it. So if you definitely liked the class today, then please hit the like button, comment, and please share it also. Thank you very much. Bye bye.